The power of tongue and foot hygiene in longevity. Have you ever wondered why some individuals seem to defy aging, staying healthier and more vibrant with just a handful of small habits? My own perspective shifted dramatically after a profound conversation with Dr. Emma Harris, a geriatric specialist with over 30 years of clinical experience. What she revealed wasn't a magic pill or a radical new therapy. It was a series of daily hygiene practices that most of us overlook, yet they hold immense power in promoting long-term health and resilience. Let's start with a surprisingly neglected part of the body, the tongue. The tongue, more than just a muscle for taste. We use our tongue constantly to talk, eat, and swallow, yet it's one of the most neglected areas in our hygiene routine. Most people assume that brushing their teeth twice a day is sufficient for oral care, but Dr. Harris argues otherwise. In fact, as a physician myself, I can confirm, what she says is grounded in compelling clinical evidence. Oral bacteria are linked not just to dental problems but to heart disease, diabetes complications, and even cognitive decline. Your tongue hosts more than 700 types of bacteria. While some are beneficial, many are harmful, contributing to bad breath, tooth decay, and systemic inflammation. Throughout the day, your tongue acts like a sponge, collecting food particles, dead cells, and bacteria that form a biofilm, a thin, sticky coating that becomes a breeding ground for trouble. This coating isn't just unpleasant, it's dangerous. Bacteria from your tongue can enter your bloodstream through small cuts or inflamed gums. Studies have associated poor oral hygiene with increased risk of cardiovascular disease, respiratory infections, and poor glucose regulation in diabetics. Dr. Harris compares the tongue to the air filter in your HVAC system. If it's clogged, everything downstream suffers. The good news is that keeping it clean is simple and quick. Use a tongue scraper or even your toothbrush bristles. Each morning and evening, gently scrape from the back to the front, 3 to 4 strokes. Rinse your mouth afterward. Done properly, this takes less than 3 minutes a day, and the benefits go beyond fresh breath. Regular tongue cleaning improves taste perception, especially in older adults. A patient of mine, Linda, age 67, told me her morning coffee tastes richer now, and fruit has a newfound sweetness. Her dentist noted less gum irritation and improved plaque control. Another patient, Theodore, age 71, overcame chronic bad breath within 2 weeks of adopting this practice. He now speaks with confidence and says he feels less fatigued during the day. From a medical standpoint, this is plausible. A cleaner oral environment reduces immune system strain, freeing up resources to fight other threats. If you're new to this, start slow. If you have a sensitive gag reflex, begin at the middle of the tongue and work backward over time. Always watch for signs that something's off. White patches, persistent soreness, or discoloration may warrant a visit to your doctor. Early detection is key. The feet, the unsung heroes of daily movement. Now, let's step down to the next overlooked body part, your feet. These often underappreciated structures carry us through thousands of steps each day, yet most people give them a mere rinse in the shower, if that. Neglecting proper foot hygiene, especially in older adults, can lead to fungal infections, mobility issues, and diabetic complications. Dr. Harris explains it best. Your feet are the foundation of your body. If the foundation crumbles, everything above it, balance, posture, and systemic health, starts to falter. Each foot contains 26 bones, 33 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments. It's an intricate structure designed for movement, but it's also vulnerable to damage and disease, especially when hygiene falls short. Circulation is one of the first areas affected by aging. Reduced blood flow to the feet can cause swelling, discoloration, and even lead to ulcers. For diabetic patients, this becomes critical. Moist and clean spaces between the toes can harbor fungi and bacteria, potentially escalating to serious infections or even amputations. A 73-year-old patient, Thomas, came to me with persistent itching between his toes. He'd been rinsing but not properly washing or drying his feet. A mild fungal infection was the culprit. After adopting a daily routine, washing thoroughly, drying between toes, and applying light moisturizer, he not only cleared the infection but reported improved balance and comfort when walking. How to properly care for your feet. Begin by washing your feet daily, not just in passing during a shower, but with focused attention. Use warm water and mild soap, and sit down to take the pressure off your back. Gently scrub the tops, soles, and especially between your toes with a soft cloth. Think of this like cleaning the slats of a Venetian blind. Each space needs care. After rinsing, dry thoroughly, particularly between the toes. Moisture left behind becomes a perfect breeding ground for athlete's foot and other infections. Then, Apply moisturizer to the tops and soles, but never between your toes. This helps maintain skin elasticity and prevents cracks that bacteria can exploit. Think of it as a balancing act. Hydrate without trapping moisture in tight spaces. Lastly, observe your feet regularly. Any lingering redness, swelling, small wounds that won't heal, or new discoloration could be warning signs. From a clinical standpoint, the feet are like a dashboard of your body. A small change might be signaling a much bigger issue: vascular disease, neuropathy, or immune dysfunction. Both tongue and foot care might seem mundane, but they form a cornerstone of preventive medicine. From my perspective as a physician, I've seen firsthand how small, mindful habits cascade into massive long-term benefits: stronger immunity, better mobility, more enjoyment of food, and improved quality of life. In part 2, we'll move on to another surprisingly important region, the armpits, home to lymph nodes and essential detox functions. Stay tuned. And remember, longevity doesn't come from monumental change. It begins with the smallest things, done consistently and consciously. Armpit hygiene and the hidden power of the lymphatic system. While most people focus on brushing their teeth and rinsing their faces, there's an often forgotten area that holds surprising importance for your overall health: your armpits. To many, they're just the source of body odor, or the target of deodorant ads. But as both a physician and an advocate for preventative health, I can confidently say, your underarms are one of the most crucial zones for supporting your immune system, and far too many people ignore them. Let's take a deeper look. The lymph nodes in your armpits, small but mighty. Your underarms are home to more than 20 lymph nodes, part of your body's lymphatic system, a vast internal network responsible for filtering toxins, draining waste, and defending you from infections. These lymph nodes serve as critical checkpoints for your upper body: arms, chest, breasts, and upper back. Dr. Helen Carter, a renowned expert in lymphatic health, explains it perfectly. Think of your lymph nodes as a detox hub. If they're congested by sweat, bacteria, or residue from harsh products, they can't work efficiently. From a medical standpoint, I've seen this play out in subtle ways. People who experience chronic fatigue, frequent colds, or skin irritation often have impaired lymphatic drainage, and poor underarm hygiene can be part of that. Why deodorant isn't enough? Many people swipe on deodorant or antiperspirant and assume the job is done. But these products often clog the pores, trap sweat and bacteria, and create a residue that's not fully washed away during quick showers. Over time, this can lead to red, irritated skin, tender, swollen lymph nodes, blocked pores and folliculitis, inflamed hair follicles. As we age, our skin becomes thinner and more sensitive, making these effects even more pronounced. The immune system also slows down, meaning that even small infections or irritants can cause larger problems. How to properly clean your armpits. Good hygiene isn't about harsh scrubbing, it's about gentle, consistent care. In the shower, use warm water to open up the pores and soften any residue. Then, with a soft washcloth or loofah, gently cleanse the underarms using circular, side-to-side, and up and down motions. Think of it like polishing a fragile crystal. You want to be thorough without damaging the surface. Use mild, unscented soap to reduce the risk of irritation. Harsh chemicals in scented soaps or deodorants can strip the skin's natural barrier and inflame your lymphatic nodes even more. Rinse thoroughly. One of the most overlooked parts of underarm care is making sure no soap or deodorant residue remains. Traces left behind can cause dryness, itchiness, or even mild allergic reactions. If you struggle to reach the area, cross your arm over your chest to get better leverage with the washcloth. The importance of drying. Just like your feet, drying your armpits properly after washing is crucial. Moist environments encourage the growth of bacteria and fungi, which can cause odor, rashes, and blocked pores. Pat the area gently with a clean towel. Never rub. Rubbing can cause micro tears in the skin, which act as gateways for microbes. After drying, allow your underarms to air out for a minute before applying deodorant or clothing. This small pause reduces the risk of irritation and improves the effectiveness of your deodorant by allowing it to adhere to clean, dry skin. Real-life stories. A simple shift, a big impact. Let me share the story of Olivia, a 65-year-old retired teacher. For years, she battled mysterious underarm rashes and assumed they were just part of getting older. But once she switched to unscented soap and adopted a more intentional washing and drying method, the rashes vanished within 2 weeks. I used to feel embarrassed wearing sleeveless tops, she told me. Now, my skin is smooth and clear again. Another patient, Charlotte, 70, noticed small lumps under her arms. Alarmed, she came in for an evaluation. Fortunately, these weren't cancerous, they were clogged lymph nodes, likely due to poor hygiene and antiperspirant buildup. After adopting a cleansing routine and switching to natural deodorant, the lumps disappeared. She even reported more energy, which makes sense. When your lymphatic system flows freely, your immune system functions better, and your body doesn't waste energy on fighting low-grade inflammation. From a doctor's perspective, why armpit hygiene matters more than you think. As a doctor, I often remind patients that the skin is not just a protective layer, it's an active organ, interacting constantly with your immune, circulatory, and lymphatic systems. When areas like the underarms are neglected, they become vulnerable points where waste and microbes accumulate. Proper hygiene supports lymphatic flow, reduces microbial burden, and prevents the onset of localized infections, especially in seniors or people with compromised immune systems. It can also reduce stress on your liver and kidneys, as those organs won't have to compensate for sluggish detox pathways. Just 1 to 2 minutes a day spent on mindful armpit care can lower body odor naturally, improve skin texture, boost lymphatic drainage, reduce inflammation and fatigue. Additional tips for optimal underarm health: avoid applying lotion or oils directly to your underarms. These can trap moisture and clog pores. Instead, keep the area clean and dry. Consider deodorant breaks. A few hours without deodorant, especially at night, allows your skin to breathe and reset. Drink plenty of water. Hydration helps your lymphatic system flush out waste more efficiently. Wear breathable fabrics. Cotton or bamboo shirts reduce sweat buildup and are gentler on the skin. What might seem like a minor tweak, spending a few extra minutes cleansing and caring for your underarms, can actually have a ripple effect across your immune and detox systems. You're not just washing away sweat, you're supporting your body's built-in defense network. In Part 3, we'll journey into another crucial part of your body that affects breathing, sleep, and immunity: your nose. You'll be surprised how powerful nasal care can be for energy, focus, and daily vitality. The nose: breathing better, sleeping deeper, living longer. You breathe in and out about 20,000 times a day, yet how often do you think about the organ that filters all that air? Your nose. For most people, it's simply there, doing its job quietly. But from a medical perspective, your nose is more than just a passageway. It's a high-efficiency air filter, a frontline defender against environmental toxins, allergens, bacteria, and viruses. And like any filter, it needs cleaning. As we age, natural defenses like mucus production, ciliary function, tiny hairs that move particles, and immune responses in the nasal cavity begin to slow. Without regular hygiene, this can result in nasal congestion, sinus pressure, poor sleep, and even lowered immune resilience. Your nose: a natural air purifier. Each day, your nose filters over 10,000 quarts of air. It traps dust, pollen, pollutants, and pathogens through a combination of moist mucous membranes and microscopic hairs called cilia. This intricate system is your body's first line of respiratory defense. But here's the problem: over time, this filter gets clogged. And when it does, your breathing becomes shallower, your sleep becomes disrupted, and your risk of infections rises. Chronic congestion, sinus headaches, and persistent sneezing can become your new normal, but it doesn't have to be. Real-life impact: a breath of fresh air. Let me introduce James, a 69-year-old retired construction worker. After decades of inhaling sawdust, cement particles, and city smog, he assumed his nightly congestion and poor sleep were just part of getting older. But when he started practicing daily nasal rinsing, it changed everything. "I used to wake up every couple of hours just to catch my breath," James told me. "But after 2 weeks of cleaning my nose every morning, I could breathe clearly and sleep through the night for the first time in years." As a doctor, I wasn't surprised. Nasal hygiene doesn't just improve comfort, it can enhance oxygen intake, reduce inflammation, and support deep restorative sleep. Over time, this improves energy levels, brain function, and even heart health. Simple nasal hygiene habits that work. There are several ways to incorporate nasal care into your daily routine. Here are the most effective. Backed by both experience and evidence: warm water rinse. Each morning, cup your hands and gently splash warm, not hot, water into your nostrils. This helps remove dust, dried mucus, and allergens accumulated overnight. Saline spray. Available over the counter, isotonic saline sprays are a gentle way to moisturize and cleanse your nasal passages. They work like a miniature shower for your nose and can be used 1-3 times per day. Neti pot or nasal irrigation. A traditional Ayurvedic tool, the neti pot uses a saline solution to flush out the sinuses. It's especially effective for individuals with allergies, sinusitis, or chronic congestion. Always use sterile or distilled water, and clean the pot after each use. Steam inhalation. Humid steam helps loosen mucus and soothe irritated membranes. Try inhaling steam in the shower or over a bowl of hot water, with a towel draped over your head. A few drops of eucalyptus or peppermint oil can enhance the effect. Gentle nose blowing. Many people make the mistake of pinching both nostrils and blowing hard. This can actually force mucus deeper into your sinuses. The proper method: blow one nostril at a time and always wash your hands afterward. Dry nose. Here's what to do. Nasal dryness becomes more common as we age, especially in winter, in air-conditioned spaces, or after using antihistamines. A dry nose isn't just uncomfortable, it can lead to cracks, nosebleeds, and increased risk of infection. The solution: moisturize gently. A small amount of coconut oil, vitamin E oil, or a nasal gel can keep the inner lining of your nose healthy and resilient. Use clean fingers or a cotton swab. Just a tiny dab is enough. Why nasal hygiene matters for seniors. As a doctor, I emphasize nasal care particularly in older adults, because sinus drainage slows down with age, increasing the risk of infection. Nasal congestion reduces oxygen intake, which can impact cognitive clarity and heart function. Poor breathing at night may lead to sleep apnea-like symptoms even in non-apnea patients. Reduced airflow through the nose increases mouth breathing, which dries the throat and lowers immune protection. Breathing through the nose is not just more efficient, it filters, warms, and humidifies the air before it hits the lungs. When nasal passages are clear, you're protected against more than just sneezes, you're guarding your entire respiratory system. When to seek medical help. While nasal care is effective for most people, some signs indicate a more serious issue: persistent congestion despite hygiene practices, frequent nosebleeds or thick, yellow-green discharge, facial pain or pressure lasting more than 10 days, nasal polyps or changes in smell. These could signal infections, allergies, or even structural issues like a deviated septum. In such cases, consult a healthcare provider or ENT specialist. Your nose isn't just a passive part of your body, it's a dynamic frontline defender that supports breathing, sleep, and immunity. With just a few mindful habits each day, you can open your airways, improve your sleep, reduce allergic flare-ups, and feel more energized from morning to night. In Part 4, we'll explore one of the most surprising hygiene zones of all, your belly button, and reveal how it, too, plays an unexpected role in your long-term health. The belly button, a tiny spot with a big health impact. When we think about daily hygiene, certain routines come automatically: brushing our teeth, washing our hands, cleansing our faces. But there's one tiny part of your body that quietly collects dirt, bacteria, sweat, and dead skin day after day, often without a second thought. I'm talking about your belly button. It may look like a simple indentation, a small remnant of your umbilical connection to your mother, but as both a physician and a fan of functional health, I can tell you, this tiny zone is one of the most overlooked breeding grounds for bacteria. And yes, cleaning it regularly could improve your comfort, reduce your risk of infections, and contribute to better skin and gut health over time. Your navel, a hidden ecosystem. Research has shown that the average belly button can host dozens, even hundreds of species of bacteria. Why? Because it's warm, moist, enclosed, and rarely exposed to light or air. That's exactly the kind of environment microbes love. Over time, your navel collects lint from clothing, sweat and sebum, natural skin oil, dead skin cells, soap or body wash residue that doesn't rinse away. All of this can lead to a musty odor, redness, itching, or minor skin infections, especially in older adults whose skin is thinner and more fragile, and whose immune response is naturally slower. Case study: the overlooked infection. Take Helen, a 75-year-old retired nurse. During a routine visit, her doctor noticed slight redness and an unpleasant smell around her navel. She was shocked. "I've always kept myself clean," she told me. But she admitted she hadn't given much thought to her belly button. It turned out to be a mild bacterial infection, easily treated, but the discomfort and embarrassment could have been avoided with just a few seconds of daily care. As we age, even small hygiene oversights can snowball. Drier skin, slower cell regeneration, and weaker immune defenses all make it easier for bacteria or fungi to grow in places we don't monitor. How to clean your belly button properly. Fortunately, maintaining a clean belly button is simple, gentle, and requires no expensive products. Here's how to do it correctly. In the shower. While bathing, use a soft washcloth and warm water. Gently press your index finger, wrapped in the cloth, into the belly button, moving in small circular motions. There's no need to scrub hard. Treat it like cleaning a delicate teacup. Use mild, unscented soap. Fragrance-free soap reduces the risk of irritation or allergic reactions. For deeper belly buttons, Tilting your body forward slightly helps water flow out instead of pooling inside. Dry thoroughly. After your shower, use a clean, dry towel to pat the area gently. Make sure there's no moisture left, as dampness can promote microbial growth. For extra care, if your belly button is deep or recessed, dip a cotton swab in warm water or mild soap and carefully clean the folds. Always follow up with a dry swab to wick away leftover moisture. Piercings need extra attention. Have a navel piercing. Even if it's been healed for years, it still needs regular care. Jewelry can trap bacteria and dead skin cells, especially around the post or edges. Each day, gently clean around the piercing with warm water or saline solution, then dry it thoroughly to prevent irritation and odor. More than just cleanliness, surprising benefits. While you might not think of your belly button as a major health player, the benefits of daily care go beyond just removing grime. Fresher body odor, trapped sweat and skin debris are often the source of vague, musty smells. Clean the navel, and these odors often disappear. Smoother skin on the abdomen. Regular cleansing removes buildup that clogs pores and irritates nearby skin. Reduced risk of infection, especially for seniors, diabetics, or immunocompromised individuals. A clean belly button is a safer belly button. Improved comfort. That odd little itch or skin twinge you've ignored might disappear entirely. From the doctor's desk, what to watch out for. There are a few warning signs that your navel may need more attention or medical evaluation. Redness or swelling that persists. Discharge or unpleasant odor. Itching or burning. Pain or sensitivity in or around the navel. Bumps, cysts, or bleeding. These could indicate an infection, cyst, or even a reaction to hygiene products or jewelry. If symptoms last more than a few days, don't ignore them. Early detection and treatment make all the difference. Belly button and gut health, a hypothetical link. Here's something interesting that's still being explored. The skin around your belly button lies near the abdominal wall and gut area. While it doesn't directly affect digestion, keeping this area clean may reduce the microbial load in your midsection, especially for people with inflammatory skin or gut conditions. In holistic medicine, the navel is often considered an energy center, or marma point. While scientific research is limited in this area, many patients report that consistent hygiene in this region contributes to a greater sense of overall cleanliness and well-being. Daily routine in less than a minute. If you're wondering how to fit one more habit into your day, the good news is, this one takes 30 seconds. Once it's part of your shower routine, it becomes automatic, just like brushing your teeth. Here's your daily checklist. Wash your belly button with a soft cloth and mild soap. Rinse thoroughly. Dry completely. Check for any signs of irritation or infection. That's it. Yet, over time, the impact can be surprisingly noticeable. You've now explored 5 body parts that are easy to neglect, but powerful in their ability to influence your long-term well-being. The tongue, the feet, the armpits, the nose, and the belly button. These are not just cosmetic fixes. They are acts of preventive care, supporting your immunity, reducing inflammation, improving comfort, and increasing vitality. The beauty of these habits lies in their simplicity. They don't require money, prescriptions, or high-tech gadgets. Just awareness, consistency, and a few extra moments each day. You don't need to overhaul your entire lifestyle to live a longer, healthier life. Sometimes, it really is the little things, the quiet, intentional acts of care, that make the biggest difference.